Since the creation of our YouTube channel, I've been doing live streams where we review the accounts of our members and subscribers. And so far we reviewed more than 200 accounts. Some of those accounts were like this, and some of them... Justin, I don't even know what to say. But long story short, I have collected enough information from those live streams about biggest mistakes that are keeping your account small. Let's go.
Spartans! What is your profession? Huh?
We immediately start with mistake number 1, that is keeping your account small. But by the way, I just realized, when this video is released, we might be already at 10k subscribers, so... If not, rip. Mistake number 1 is unnecessary level 60 commanders. And mistake number 1 and 2 are mostly for my fellow beginner players. If you are an experienced Rise of Kingdoms player, feel free to skip to mistake number 3. The main reason why we get certain commanders to level 60 and 6 stars is that they are talents. More levels you have, more talents you can apply, up to 60. But the thing about the talent trees, the only talent tree that applies in a march is the talent tree of your primary commander. So the talent tree of your secondary commander doesn't mean anything. For example, before CPO, I was using Guan with my Leonidas, and look at my Leonidas. Talents, literally nothing, because, as I said, it doesn't matter. The talent tree of the second commander doesn't apply, and also the equipment of the second commander, by the way, doesn't apply. Just a quick note. The only thing that applies from your secondary commander is their skills. So all you need to do is to get them to 4 stars, so that you can unlock every single skill. There is no point of getting them to 6 stars if you know that commander is specifically going to be a secondary all the time. In our account reviews, I've seen so many level 60 Leonidas, William, even Takeda, Mehmet. Like, these commanders will always be a secondary to your primary commander. You use Takeda with Attila, Leonidas with Guan Yu, William with Nevsky or XY. So when you get these commanders to level 60, you will literally get 0 benefits because, as I said, the whole point of level 60 is the talents, and talents from the secondary commander doesn't matter. And by doing that, you will be wasting a lot of XP books, and on top of that, more importantly, is gold stars. Now, I know that I have a lot of gold stars in the back because my marches are already set, right? I'm not working on any other level 60 commanders. Right now, I'm only working on Boudica, and she is already level 60. So there are only a handful of commanders that I need to get to level 60 because I already got my primaries to level 60 max level. So I'm able to save a lot of stars. But at the start of the game, you won't have that privilege. Like, when I had no experience, when I had no idea about Rise of Kingdoms, sculptures, stars, I was thinking like, how the hell am I supposed to get a commander to level 60? Like, that is so hard. How many more stars do I need? You will feel that you are not just getting enough stars to get a commander to level 60. And if you start getting unnecessary commanders to level 60, that means you won't have enough stars. You will have even less stars for your primary commanders to get them to level 60. For example, in early game, maybe you will go for an Alexander primary and YSG secondary march. As you can see, I've been using this guy for more than 2 years and he is still level 40 because he's always be a secondary. So if I didn't know that, and if I get my Yi Song to level 60, I will be wasting so many stars. And then when I get my Alexander the Great, I wouldn't be able to get him to level 60 and actually benefit from the extra talent points. Please, like, this may seem so obvious, but most of the beginners have no idea, so I had to cover that. Do not try to get every single commander level 60. There are commanders who can be used as primaries. Yes, you want to get them to level 60, but there are also commanders who will always be a secondary. You want to keep them at level 40, and as I said, you just need to unlock 4 stars to unlock every single skill. The next mistake on the list that is keeping your account small is bad distribution of sculptures. What I mean by that is this, or this, or this. For 95% of the commanders in Rise of Kingdoms, the first skill, the active skill, is the most important one. And you don't want to upgrade any other skill before upgrading or maxing your first skill. But you may ask, how did those people end up with that type of a skill distribution? The answer is they upgrade the level of their commander so they unlock more skills. And when they do skill upgrades, since upgrading skills are completely random in Rise of Kingdoms, they end up with very bad skill configurations. I'm going to explain it with a live example. As you can see, my Xiangyu is level 50, which means he has every single skill unlocked. So if I click on skills, and as you can see, I've already locked these two, so I will just get rid of the skill lock because That is what people are doing. They are not using skill lock system. Okay, now every single skill is unlocked. When I press upgrade, the skill upgrade is going to be totally random. So it's going to land one of these 4 skills. But what I want to do is I want to max his first skill, and specifically for Xiang Yu, I also want to max his second skill. So what I need to do is just lock skills number 2, 3, and 4. And this way, every single time I upgrade a skill, it will always land on this one. And once this one is level 5, then I can unlock skill level 2. Now, since this one is already level 5, rest will be level 1. But these 2 are locked. So every single skill upgrade this time will land on the second skill. But what people are doing is they are not locking skills because they unfortunately have no idea. They go like this, they click on upgrade, boom. So we upgraded the 4th skill, and now our configuration is 1112. That is one of the most important things that is keeping your account small, that is hindering your progress when it comes to commanders. Please don't do that. Just lock the skills of the commander so your skill upgrades do not land on the bad skills. Obviously, there are some exceptions because at the start of this mistake, I said you want to max the first skill of 95% of the commanders. So what is that 5%? It is mainly gatherers. For example, if we take a look at Cleopatra, I have her expertise, but you will be able to understand. She's a gathering commander, right? Her only purpose is gathering resources. Then what is the point of maxing out her first skill? It heals some slightly wounded units.
Additionally, troops with your healing gain 50% defense for 2 seconds.
Does this skill has any benefit for the purpose of Cleopatra, which is gathering? No. But let's take a look at her second and third skill. It is gathering speed, and this is increased load. So what you want to do with the Cleopatra is that you want to get her to 3 stars so you can unlock first 3 skills, and then you want to upgrade her skills randomly and pray that this time it doesn't land on the first skill so that you can max the second one and the third one. Then you can get full benefit of her gathering skills. So certain gathering commanders are the only exceptions. But other than that, 95% of the commanders, you want to max the first skill. So please use the skill lock system. And by the way, guys, if you think any information was useful or helpful so far, please consider subscribing so you do not miss future videos. Now, the third mistake is investing on bad commanders. I'm guilty of it. I've done it in the past because I had no experience, and many of us did it, as we can tell from our account review streams. Please don't invest your universal legendary commander sculptures on bad commanders. What I mean by bad is, obviously every single commander in Rise of Kingdoms has a certain purpose, has a certain benefit, but there are some commanders that has super long shelf life, which means you will be able to use them for like years, and they are certainly miles better than rest of the legendary commanders. Guan Yu, for example, one of the best commanders in Rise of Kingdoms. CPO, Boudica, Nevsky, Joan, you already know it. I will have a video for our 2022 Commander Investment tier list at the end of this video, at the end screen. Make sure to check it out if you are not sure which commander to invest. But let's compare this with Trajan. Trajan is by no means a bad commander. He's a super useful commander actually. But I've seen players with, like, he has 2 marches and one of them is Trajan FF-led. Trajan is a buffing commander, right? The purpose of Trajan is buffing your other marches or your other allies. If you are using 2 marches only, this means you are buffing only 1 extra march. So what is the point of investing on Trajan? You want to invest on Trajan if it is your 5th march or 6th march or 7th march, because it is a buffing march. You want to have at least 4 or 5 marches other than your Trajan march so that you can get full benefit of his buffing skills. That's what I mean by bad commander investment. Trajan, as I said, not necessarily he's bad, he's actually super good, but he's only good if you already have some extra marches around Trajan. As I said, I'm guilty of it. I've done it in the past. I have 5-3-1-1 Genghis Khan at least. I managed to stop early. I realized that he's not going to be useful in future early because he's so squishy. He doesn't have any utilities, debuffs or anything. So yeah, unfortunately, Genghis Khan, just like Edward. Again, 5-1-1 Edward. Yeah, I was investing Edward too. Luckily, I stopped pretty early. Like, these commanders are so tempting in early KVKs because they are so good. Like, the power of Edward, the power of Genghis Khan in pre-season of Conquest is so high. And that's why it's tempting to max them. But once you max them, when you get into Season of Conquest, you will realize, oh, why did I waste so many sculptures on Genghis Khan and Edward, who are just simply useless in Season of Conquest. So please, before you make any commander investment decisions in Rise of Kingdoms, because those sculptures are so hard to collect, please go ahead and watch some guides via some tier lists for commander investments. I'm not the only one who is doing those tier lists. Omniarch does it, Chiskel does it. Like, there are a bunch of content creators who does commander investment tier lists. So go ahead and watch those videos and see if your next investment plan is a high tier on that list. If not, please reconsider your investment. Next commander investment mistakes that is keeping your account small is rushing your legendary commander investments. If you're just chilling in your home kingdom, gathering resources, killing barbarians and barbarian forts, there is no point for you to invest to a new max legendary commander. For example, I'm investing on Boudica. I got her to 5551 on our previous KVK, and I still have bunch of sculptures to invest on Boudica, but I didn't, and there are many reasons for that. The first one is maxing Boudica right now has literally no benefits for me because she's a PvP commander and there is no PvP on our home kingdom. And if there is PvP or civil war in your home kingdom, you have to migrate away ASAP. So yeah, maxing Boudica right now has literally no benefits for me. But what are the downsides? The first one is Boudica is a Wheel of Fortune commander, right? So until our next KVK fight starts, I'm not saying our next KVK starts because once we start KVK, we still have some downtime until the pass opening. So when our next KVK fight starts, we will have at least 3 or 4 Boudica Wheel of Fortunes. So I can get more Boudica sculptures from those Wheel of Fortunes, and this way I can save some of my legendary sculptures that I was going to invest on Boudica. That is the first thing. If your commander investment plan is a Wheel of Fortune commander, just don't rush. Please get the full benefit of that Wheel of Fortune until your next fight starts. And right before your first KVK fight starts, obviously you want to go ahead and invest your sculptures on the next commander that you are planning to invest. So please don't rush investing your legendary sculptures on commanders. But there is one more reason. Let's say that commander is not a Wheel of Fortune commander. As you guys know, Lilith releases new commanders with a certain frequency. One of my next investments is going to be a 5515 Joan of Arc. I'm going to try to get her to 5515. But even if I had the sculptures right now, as you can see, I'm not investing any sculptures on Joan because I'm an infantry main and I will only have 1 cavalry march. What if I invest my sculptures on Joan right now and before our next KVK starts, Lilith releases a super strong cavalry commander for me to pair with my max Nevsky, my expertise Nevsky, and then my investments on Joan of Arc are useless. It is highly unlikely because Joan of Arc is a great commander, but still, you get the idea, right? You don't want to rush your legendary commander investments for multiple reasons. Only invest, only expertise your commanders right before the first pass fight. And speaking of Wheel of Fortune, our last mistake is not getting the full benefit, not getting the full value, the best value from Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is a great way for especially free-to-plays and low spenders to invest on legendary commanders because we don't have the chance to win MGs, right? Mainly we are focusing on Wheel of Fortune commanders. And if you're not getting the full benefit, full value of Wheel of Fortune, you are seriously hurting your account. And what I mean by full value is that I've seen so many players who spin to, I don't know, 20, sometimes if they have gems, sometimes they go for 45, 70 or something. So when they see a Wheel of Fortune for a commander that they are interested in, they just spend a bunch of gems and that's it. But what you want to do in Wheel of Fortune, by the way, this is mathematically proven, you either want to spin to 10 or you want to go for 100. Unless you just need a few extra sculptures to expertise a commander and you need to expertise that commander ASAP, then yeah, you can just spin as much as you want as long as you get those sculptures. But other than that, usually, as I said, you either go for the 10 if you don't have the gems or you want to go for 100. You don't want to stay in between because 10 and 100 gives you the best value. So if you don't have the gems, just gather gems, save your gems for 100 spin. Just target a commander, right? Decide on a commander and say, okay, I'm gonna 100 spin this commander and go for 100 spin on that one. Rest of the Wheel of Fortunes, only go for 10. 10 is a great value. 100 is obviously the best if you are going to invest, if you're going to expertise that commander. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And as I said, here you can find our 2022 commander investment video. I think we are missing some commanders, latest commanders, because that video is a few months old, but still rest of the commanders are, what is that word? Relevant? Valid? Whatever. I see you guys on that one. Bye.